so I overdosed, and when I came to, I like panicked. I seen like all the cops around, and I was like, oh shit, this is really bad. And there was stuff all over the car, and the medic was like, "You want to go to the hospital? You want to go to the hospital?" I was like, "No." She's like, "Okay, all you have to do is step out of this car and sign this paper saying you refuse treatment." And I was like, "Okay." So I stepped out of the car, threw up the clipboard, and just started booking it.
Oh God.
And I'm obviously in no shape to run. And this cop was behind the car that I got out of, and he throws me up against the ambulance and puts a stun gun on the back of my head. So I'm just sitting there pissing myself. Yeah, so just like that was so then they take me to the station, and I was there for like 2 days, and within like 12 hours just so sick, like shitting myself, begging the guard for toilet paper. Yeah, that was my rock bottom where I threw up like the foxhole prayer. Hey guys, Andre Petrosky here. I am joined by my friend Lou DeSanto, Director of Corporate Partnerships for the Caron Foundation. Um, another a partner in recovery, correct?
Yep.
And joining us today, we have a couple announcements, but I want to share Lou's story and how he got started, and how you ended up working with the Caron Foundation.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. This is awesome. Um, how did I get started? I mean, I guess you have to back up.
Where are you from, first of all?
Yeah. All right, we'll start there. So I grew up in Delaware County, in Broomall,
Delco.
Delco, baby. I didn't move out of Delco, but for high school we moved to Bryn Mawr, so I went to Radnor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ask my wife, who's been from Delco her whole life, she says she's from Delco, I'm from Delaware County. Which people who are from Delco get a kick out of that.
Where's your wife from?
East Lansdowne.
Okay, so
She's
Delco.
from real Delco. Yeah.
Bryn Mawr ain't really Delco.
No, right on the edge. I own it though. I get it. But then, like a true person from Delco,
yeah,
I bought my parents' house about 6 years ago, and now we're raising my family in
You're
Broomall.
back.
Yeah, we always come back.
There you go.
So yeah, man, I mean, when we moved from Broomall to Bryn Mawr, it was just about 2 years after that when my parents split. And that's probably when my drinking career took off.
Yeah.
I'd say.
What did your parents do?
So my mom was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
My dad did a ton of different things, mostly in real estate. And then I think his big business for a while was commercial real estate. So he was working a ton, and if he wasn't like home late or whatever, he's probably traveling, and so it was a lot of time just me and my two siblings at home with my mom. Not that my dad wasn't around or anything, he didn't have a regular 9 to 5, you know what I mean? Like he was always on the move.
Do you remember your first drink?
Yeah, I do actually.
I love these stories.
It's really not that. It's not that exciting to me. So my dad had, or my parents had, since the year I was born in '93, this giant party they called Crab Fest. My dad would get like bushels and bushels of crabs, a bunch of kegs, the whole deal, and he would always get a root beer keg. You ever had one of those?
I don't think so. We were never allowed soda in my household.
Okay. You know what's funny is we
beer,
never
yes,
had it.
But soda,
yeah,
out of the question.
we really never had soda in the house either, unless it was this big party. So he'd get a keg of root beer, and then when I was in 8th grade, going into freshman year of high school, he let me invite a couple friends to the party, and we just started sneaking beers. And I don't even know, to be honest, like I didn't get sick or anything. I don't know if I got like completely hammered, but I definitely know I had a good time. Like it was just one of those things. I hear people explain it like, oh, I had my first drink and it was this big relief lifted off my shoulders. I don't think it was anything like that, but I definitely was like, I'm going to keep doing this.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the start. 8th grade going into freshman year of high school.
So you go to college. Where'd you go to college?
Shippensburg.
Nice.
Barely.
Staying in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Well, so, I don't know that anyone's really done worse in high school and actually graduated than I did. It was close.
Last in the class.
By far, I'm sure.
I gotta tell this one story. So my
Yeah.
buddy, this is way off topic, but my best friend that I grew up with, he won our spelling bee in 4th grade.
Okay.
Won the spelling bee. So like, not an idiot. He graduated the last in our class. He had to leave our senior week house to go back to take the summer class in order for him to graduate. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Wins our spelling bee.
Yeah,
But go on.
So I was kind of like that. So like, I wasn't dumb. It's not that I couldn't do the work. I just wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do homework. I'll never forget our senior year in high school. You got a senior project.
Mm.
And up until my senior year, the project was you got to pick something, whatever you wanted. Like my buddy did his on snowboarding.
Yeah.
Like made a video of him snowboarding. My year, they switched it to the English teacher gave a year project, and they told me to write 8 pages on the Black Death. And I wrote 1. It was like, I'm just like not going to do this. So just stuff like that. So I graduated high school with a 1.6. A bunch of my buddies were already out at Penn State Altoona.
Yeah.
So I found this small, super small Catholic school called Mount Aloysius by Penn State Altoona.
Mm.
Lived in the apartment complex with all my buddies. I went to Penn State. Went to class for a semester. Got the grades to transfer to Ship.
Gotcha.
And then it was off from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
So fast forward, the drinking gets worse.
Yeah,
Drinking,
gets
drugging.
worse. I mean, the high school itself was crazy. I mean, this is the other thing about my parents being divorced is whichever me and my siblings switched houses every Friday,
Mm-hmm.
whichever house we weren't at, that parent was not around.
Yeah.
So I had an open house every weekend. So in high school,
Because they were working?
working, staying somewhere else, traveling, like whatever it was, they didn't have the kids, so they weren't at home.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. This is open house.
If I ain't got kids, I'm going.
Yeah. Hey, why not? So I mean, we drank all through high school to the point, junior and senior year, we started drinking during the week a little bit too. And then college.
Before school?
Not before school, after school though.
Instead of school.
Yeah, or instead of school.
Yeah.
I had a lot of senior skip days.
Okay.
And then college, man, yeah, it was off to the races. I joined a fraternity. I drank 7 nights of the week.
Yeah.
Kept it together-ish. I always did, in whatever like phase of my life, I would find a way, like most alcoholics, to protect my drinking.
Yeah.
So, I joined the fraternity and then I became president of the fraternity because no one could say anything to the president.
Yeah.
So like it was a way to look like I had my stuff together on the outside, but really behind the scenes I was a mess. But I always protected it.
Yeah.
And I really didn't have any legal consequences, with drinking until my last semester of college. So I was a broadcast journalism major. So every Thursday night we had newscasts that were live on cable, and I was like the main anchor.
Oh, brother.
Yeah. Thursday nights, 7:00.
Thirsty Thursday.
Yeah. And I showed up to the broadcast just not in, okay shape for me, I guess.
Yeah.
It had been worse, but so we do the broadcast. No one says anything. No one has said anything up to that point. And then next morning, I get a call from my advisor. She's like, hey, come to my office. It was like, I didn't think anything of it because it wasn't that unusual, but I get there. It's my advisor and the producer of the
They knew
news
right away.
station. Oh, yeah. So the advisor's like, hey, were you drunk at the newscast last night? And I'm like, why would I be drunk at the newscast, right? And she presses play, the playback, the footage, and I'm slurring my own name at the beginning of the broadcast. Rough. Luckily, like I got to
say Lou or Lewis.
I probably said something like that. Yeah. So the consequence was I wasn't allowed to go on the news after that. And then the big thing, which I really loved, was we did all our football and basketball games live.
Yeah.
So I was producing in the truck, commentating sometimes too, and I wasn't able to do that either. So you would think like, hey, I'm about to graduate with my broadcasting degree. Yeah. I had 3 job offers at the time. You'd think like, hey, you got suspended, you should probably get your stuff together.
Yeah.
No, it was just
double down,
triple down, quadruple down, keep rolling.
Yeah. So when's rock bottom?
About 3 years after college. So I graduated barely again. I needed to get a 96 or better on this math final to graduate from college, and somehow I did it. So I graduate, I get a job. I was actually working for this company where we sold products on QVC, the shopping channel, which was interesting.
In Westchester?
Yeah.
I used to deliver there.
Yeah?
When I'd deliver pizzas, I would deliver to that. That place is nice, and they tip good.
It's crazy.
And when you're getting high, good tips.
Good tips. Cash helps. Yeah, it was great. I lived in Westchester, which was awesome. I was like a young professional. I had some money in my pocket, but I just never stopped. Like Thirsty Thursday continued for me. And I had met a girl my last semester of college. She actually ended up transferring to Westchester when I was working there. So we were together. We were on again, off again for years, because I was an active alcoholic. I would kick her out of places we were living in together. Just really doing whatever I can to get her out of my way so I could go on a binge. And then July 1st or June 30th, 2019, I was at her apartment during one of our off phases. And she basically, I showed up crazy, intoxicated, and she's like, I can't do this anymore. And she said, the way you're living your life is starting to affect the way I'm living my life. This isn't working out. Like, you need to get help. And that was like my wake up call to get honest. And I just started spilling everything. I'm like, I drink every day. I'm drinking 24 hours a day. I'm lying. I hate my job, all this stuff. And, and the next day I went to treatment.
Where'd you go?
I went to Caron.
Hey.
Yeah.
Shout out to Caron.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to our program down in Florida.
Delray.
In Delray. Yeah, I went straight there, flew down on a Sunday, watched the 4th of July fireworks on TV in a detox. And I was there for 3 months.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
How was Caron?
Best thing I ever did for myself.
Yeah.
That my family ever did for me. Really, that my entire family ever did for themselves.
Yeah.
Like, it really helped all of us. I always say, if I was willing to go, but if you could have fast forward and showed me what my family'd be like post Caron, I'd sign up to go in a second.
Way sooner.
Yeah. Yeah.
I remember when I was getting high, and everyone would be like, "Oh, rehab doesn't work. Like, it's stupid. It sucks." They're like, "The rehab's terrible," and it's like, and then when I went, I was like, "Oh, no wonder they said that." Like, they were getting high still.
Yeah.
It didn't work for you. You know what I mean?
I mean, I have friends who got sober in all different rehabs. I got friends who got sober not from going to rehab.
Yeah.
Going to 12-step or just not at all. Look, different things work for different people. How old were you when you got sober?
27.
Yeah, I was 26.
Yeah.
It was scary.
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know. I don't know about.
I didn't have a choice, really. I was court ordered, so it was either that. It was either I was on like a drug bond, so it was just either go to county or go to rehab. I was like, rehab it is. Let's go.
And it stuck for you?
Yeah. Yeah, first time.
I remember, like, I was 26 when I went in, and
but I will say my rock bottom was was rock enough for me, at least.
yeah.
Yeah.
I guess if you were court ordered something.
So I overdosed, and when I came to, I like panicked. I seen like all the cops around, and I was like, oh shit, this is really bad. And there was stuff all over the car, and the medic was like, you want to go to the hospital? You want to go to the hospital? I was like, no. She's like, okay, all you have to do is step out of this car and sign this paper saying you refuse treatment. And I was like, okay. So I stepped out of the car, threw up the clipboard, and just started booking it.
Oh, God.
And I'm obviously in no shape to run. And this cop was behind the car that I got out of, and he throws me up against the ambulance and puts a stun gun on the back of my head. So I'm just sitting there pissing myself. Yeah. So just like that was, so then they take me to the station, and I was there for like 2 days, and within like 12 hours, just so sick, like shitting myself, begging the guard for toilet paper. Yeah, that was my rock bottom, where I threw up like the foxhole prayer and was like, yeah, at that point I didn't believe in God. I thought God was stupid. I thought like it was weak to need God. And that's when I was like, God, I need you. Like,
yeah. Did you think it was weak? Like, did you grow up thinking it was weak to need help?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, it's interesting. I don't know that anyone ever explicitly like said that, but I guess it's men everywhere, but
of course we're raised and taught to be independent and self-sufficient,
be the man,
100%,
protect everyone. Yeah. I was
always able to like tough out any situation, except for drugs. With drugs, like no matter how tough I was, I always lost.
Yeah.
Like that's just one.
They'll take down.
Yeah.
The biggest dude.
Oh yeah.
It's interesting. So I guess I had what a lot would consider a high bottom, and honestly, that's one of the things that kept me from getting help for so long. It's like on paper, I shouldn't have had.
I'm doing all right.
But you get down there, or I got down to treatment and realized I was sitting in a circle of a bunch of dudes just like me.
And the reality is that if you would have been like, I wasn't that low, I'm just going to go out and do some more.
Yeah.
It just keeps getting worse, bro.
Dig myself deeper.
It just keeps getting worse.
Were you fighting at the time?
Yeah. Yeah. So I was 7-1 as an amateur. I would basically just fight, make like, $2,200, and that would keep me well for, I don't know, a month or two. And then I would just take another fight. And I was like, oh, I'm turning pro next fight. I'm turning pro next fight. I'm turning pro next fight. And I was afraid to fail a drug test, one. And I just kept taking amateur fights.
So they don't test you if you're an amateur?
No, I was high for all the fights.
And so you're basically just taking fights.
I had a couple fights where I was on subs, but
okay.
Yeah.
But you're essentially just taking them to get money to get high.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's interesting, and we can get into some of the stuff that Caron's doing, and like with the brain and everything. But it's crazy.
So tell everyone about the brain scan. So
yeah,
I am going to be working with the Caron Foundation,
which we're super excited about.
Dude, I'm thrilled.
We're so excited to support you just in your own continued recovery, and just to get the word out there. So what's really interesting to me, to Caron, about this is, I mean, you were, like you just said, you were getting high, getting hit in the head for a living,
Yeah.
Training and what, I'm sure that escalated the addiction and everything else that you were dealing with. So one of the things that we're doing at Caron is, to put it simply, brain health.
Yeah.
And essentially taking a look under the hood using QEEG brain scans, FDG PET scans, psych tests, and putting all these together with this multidisciplinary team of doctors to say, like, okay, what's really happening in the brain? So your scans are going to be crazy.
Yeah.
Because you have the physical trauma.
Yeah.
I'm sure along the way you've got some mental trauma.
And then I've got this really safe occupation.
Yeah, it's your desk job.
I will say one of my biggest fears is that when I overdosed, that I like maybe like I lost a lot of oxygen to my brain, and that like there's something wrong with my brain. It's not funny, but yeah.
Yeah, no, that's reality.
Yeah.
For a lot of people. And what's amazing about what we're doing is being able to see that.
Yeah.
So in the general sense, like addiction treatment till now is like you and I's story. You are getting high, you're drinking, you agree to go to treatment, you detox a couple of days, you go into group therapy.
Yeah.
That doesn't work for everyone.
Yeah.
Especially if you're someone who doesn't have enough oxygen flow in their brain and doesn't have any impulse control. Like, group work isn't going to do you any good until you fix the oxygen piece and what's happening. So all of these tests can show that and indicate different treatment modalities that can fix it and make it better, so that, there's a lot of people who go to treatment center to treatment center to treatment center and nothing works.
Yeah.
And they can't figure it out. And as an industry, no one's taken the time to, like I keep saying, look under the hood.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of information there.
Yeah.
So, we've been working. We have a partnership with the trust, the NFL Players Association Players Trust. So we're working with a lot of NFL alumni.
Athletes, yeah.
And, some of these things, you put some of these scans and, x-rays, whatever they are, MRIs, and you put it on paper in front of someone, and all of a sudden things start to make sense.
Yeah.
And you never know what specifically that's going to be, but it kind of gives you the playbook on what.
So for someone that would be interested in doing the same thing, getting this brain scan, what is the process that I'm going to be going through look like?
Yeah. So there's two different processes. There's a process for those in active addiction.
Yeah.
Like they're in active addiction, trying to get off.
What's that look like?
That is
you fly to Delray.
Fly to Delray. We got a beautiful 100,000 square foot medical facility. You stay at the facility.
And for those who don't know, have never been to treatment before, I will say not all treatments are the same. Yes. Not all rehabs are built the same. And Caron just happens to be one of the best.
It's a great place. And Caron's been around for over 70 years now, and it's remained a nonprofit this whole time. It's continues to operate on donations and philanthropy of people who have went through our treatment, which is amazing. So this medical facility they built in Delray, it's absolutely beautiful.
Before I cut you off, speaking of the philanthropy, so Caron historically was a cash only treatment center.
Yeah.
Correct. And you can probably explain this better, but how did they now take insurance? Are you allowed to talk about that?
A little bit. Yeah. So, So historically, Caron didn't take insurance. So I think about 2016, 2017-ish. The reason they didn't is because insurance, if the insurance company was paying, they were dictating a lot of what the treatment process looked like, how long someone could stay,
Yeah, when they have to leave.
when they had to leave, and things like that. And Caron knew the treatment they provided and knew what they provided worked. So until someone came along, a partner who was willing to fight for Caron and say, these people are doing it the right way, that's when we started taking insurance. So our first contract was Independence Blue Cross right here in Philly. And and when they started, they were the first person to say, like, hey, Caron does great work. We trust their outcomes. We'll let them do their thing. And now, luckily, we have that same deal with most major insurances. And so expanding access, I still come across people now in Delco or in Philly, South Jersey, that think they can't access Caron.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that they took insurance either.
Yeah, a lot of people can come for $0 out of their own pocket.
Yeah,
insurance covers the whole thing.
Wow.
Some have a little copay, but nothing compared to the $45,000 cash that it used to be. So the process in Florida for the brain scans. No, I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah.
Even I forget sometimes.
Yeah.
So in order to go through the assessment process for all the scans, you have to be sober and clean. So a lot of people have to detox
before they start the brain scan.
Before they start,
so you go to Delray, you detox for 4 to 12 days.
Yeah. Whatever
depending on what you're coming off.
Because you need to have a clean baseline. And then you do the QEEG scan, you do the FDG PET scan. QEEG scan is, so I'll get you some pictures, and we can put them out there. But essentially, you put this cap on your head, like a swimming cap, or like hair dye or whatever.
Yeah.
And
I did see the video of you having it on the Instagram page.
Yes,
on the Caron's Instagram page.
Yeah. Caron Treatment Centers on Instagram actually has a video. I went through the assessment for a second time. So it's not invasive. You're literally wearing this cap, sitting in a chair like this. I think you do 15 minutes with your eyes open, 15 minutes with your eyes closed, and it's just measuring your brain. Like, it's electroactivity, measuring your brain waves. We got people in Florida who can talk about it a lot more technical than that.
Are they telling you what to think about while you have this thing on at all?
No.
They're just saying, let your brain wander.
At rest. Yep. Okay. Let your brain wander. And it's measuring alpha waves, theta waves, and all these things mean something different.
Yeah.
And you get this report, which we'll see of yours, where it's, your brain, and then there's all these different colors. Like blue is significant underactivity. Red is significant overactivity, and everywhere in between. In my case, I had a lot in 2019 when I got it done. I had a ton of blue, which was significant underactivity in alpha. And what they said to me was, hey, you have significant underactivity in alpha.
What's alpha?
A brain wave.
Any relation to Alpha Brain? The supplement from...
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I've heard of that. I don't know if it's...
We'll have to ask Joe Rogan.
We should ask Joe Rogan.
Or who's the... Forget it.
I know you're...
who's the Alpha Brain guy?
I don't know. I was thinking
he's
Huberman.
Always on the podcast with Rogan.
Huberman?
No.
I know who you're talking about, and I can't remember it.
See, that's why I need the brain scan.
Yeah,
can't remember anything.
That's what you need.
Marcus Aubrey, Aubrey Marcus.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
the one.
Yeah, that's interesting, and we should remember to actually. We should talk about that with our docs down there.
Yeah.
But for me, hey, you have significant underactivity in alpha that typically correlates with someone with anxiety and depression.
Yeah.
In your psych assessment, your verbal psych assessment, you told Dr. A that you were bullied as a kid and that your parents got divorced. We think those go together.
Okay.
And for me, it was like, oh my God. Like, is that what I'm supposed to talk about in therapy? So, a big wake-up call for me. Now, I'm someone who didn't have any physical trauma.
Yeah.
Right? There's people... Your scan will likely look totally different than mine. Yeah. You'll also get the FDG PET scan that I didn't get, which is really important for people who have physical head trauma because it measures the oxygen flow in your brain.
Mm.
So we will see, like you said, did that overdose or the years of active use affect your oxygen flow?
Yeah.
And if it did, there's treatments for it. Like we send a lot of people to hyperbaric oxygen chamber therapy.
I always had like a thought, and this might be a very ignorant thought, but to me, it's just from observation. Not that I'm justifying anyone doing heroin at all whatsoever, but I feel like opiates might be less damaging to the brain as opposed to like smoking crack or doing meth. Like a lot of or alcohol is probably one of the worst for your brain.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I don't know if there's any correlations with based on what people are coming off of as far as like what their brains look like.
So there is. So Kieran Tracy, who's our I want to call him a neuroscientist.
Yeah.
I don't know if scientist is the right word, but
we'll run with it.
Yeah, we'll run with it. He looks at profiles of people who come in based on substance, and a lot of them do look similar.
Yeah.
The profiles look similar. All I know is that benzos and alcohol are the most dangerous to detox from.
Oh yeah.
On your own.
Yeah. If you go to jail, those are the only ones that they'll give you stuff for.
Yeah.
Like if you're coming in and you're just withdrawn from opiates, it's like, enjoy the ride, buddy. Like you did it to yourself. But if you come in on benzos, if you're coming off benzos, like you can seize out and die. So they have to put you in like the infirmary.
Yeah, I remember being on the phone that Sunday. I agreed to go get help, and the guy telling me on the phone, "Yeah, so you're gonna be in detox for a couple of days, and then you'll come over to the treatment center." And I was like, "Detox? I'm not on drugs."
Yeah.
And he's like,
Just
"Drink a
wait.
lot of alcohol, buddy.
Yeah.
You need a detox." And it never crossed my mind. But I think what's going to be really cool. So Andre's going to come down to Florida. We're going to do the full scan. Now yours will be a little different. You get the same work done, but you don't have to detox, which is most of the time frame.
Yeah.
So we're going to expedite all your scans, and we're going to basically follow your journey from the beginning to end. So you'll fill out, the standard intake form that shows the docs, here's what I was on, here's how long I overdosed X amount of times, all these things. I have this crazy desk job where people punch me in the head all the time. Yeah. And because,
the office doc.
Yeah. All that stuff's relevant. And then as they get the results, each clinician or doctor, they kind of get together as a group and decipher it. And then we'll go in to the conference room with them. They'll present you with all of their findings and what they think you should do about it. If any. And I think what's becoming really cool, excuse me, is the people wellness just in general is such a big thing in culture right now, which is great. I'm all for it. So there's a lot of people who aren't in active addiction. Maybe they're previous addicts. Maybe they fight for a living who are interested in having this knowledge, and we can do all of that and provide all of that, which is, I mean, especially in these sports, football, fighting, hockey, when you're getting head trauma every day, this stuff's important to know. I remember when I first reached out to you, you were like, "No, dude, knowledge is power." I love that.
Yeah. So, I have two people that were teammates of mine. So in Jersey, they require a brain scan to fight pro.
Okay.
And I have two teammates that had, I don't know if one was a brain aneurysm.
Oh, wow.
And one was, like a tiny clot or something. And one of them went on and fought and it never became an issue. I don't know if it like healed itself or whatever. They went on to be, in the UFC, very successful fighter. The other one stopped fighting because they, with that information, they're like, it's not worth it, and completely stopped fighting. Yeah. So
it's scary. You hear a lot about it in,
I have another buddy that had, I'm pretty sure, I'm almost positive it was the brain aneurysm. And that's when the vessel fills up, right? Okay. Well, anyways, he had the brain aneurysm, and Jersey wouldn't let him fight in Jersey. They were like, dude, we can't let you fight with a brain aneurysm.
Yeah.
Right? So he did like 6 or 7 pro fights in PA because they didn't require the brain scan. So he just kept fighting in PA. And then once he had like 6 or 7 fights in PA, the Jersey Commission was like, all right, fine, we'll let you fight. So then he went back to Jersey.
That's crazy.
But you're talking 10 years ago. Like, I don't know what I'm sure the commissions now are different, but yeah, MMA is totally based on the state you're in, but in some states, it's the Wild West. Like, West Virginia still doesn't require blood testing for their amateurs. Yeah, so like everyone that fights here in the tri-state area, you have to go get blood tests to make sure you don't have HIV, hepatitis. Makes sense, right?
Sure.
That's the least you could ask. Like, I'm going to go fight some guy. I want to make sure he doesn't have AIDS. Like, so then, but West Virginia doesn't require that. So like every state's different. It's like Wild West. MMA is crazy.
That is crazy. And then I'm sure guys, like you said, just duck from state to state to get the answer they want.
Yeah.
That's crazy. What do you guys have in, does the UFC as a promotion require anything?
Oh yeah. Our medicals are pretty extensive for every fight, and it is also dependent on the state that you're in. Like, for example, most of my fights, over half of my fights are in Vegas.
Yeah.
So their blood work, I believe, is every year. It could be every 9 months, but I believe you have to get new blood work every year. And then it's a physical every 6 months. It's an eye exam. You have to get a dilated eye exam, which basically tells you, and don't quote me here, but if you have a detached retina or not. So if you have the detached retina, it will detect it, and then you would have to get that fixed, obviously, before you fight.
Wow.
And trying to think if there's one other.
And then you guys have the testing pool, right?
I don't think I've done the brain scan. I'm not sure. I did fight in Jersey, and I don't think I got a brain scan.
Yeah, you had the ASC fight.
Yeah. The testing pool, yeah. For the drug testing, yeah.
Yeah. Is there, if you come up, I don't even know what they test for.
Yeah.
Let's say you come up hot for like cocaine or opiates or something. What happens?
So there's 2 different testing. There's so they're the same test, but it's 2 different classifications. One is in competition and one is out of competition. And so, like, for example, John Jones, he failed for cocaine out of competition. Now, the punishment as far as that goes is like, it varies. It depends. Yeah. And I think that is kind of like the criticism on it is they obviously have favoritism.
Yeah.
You know, if John Jones fails for cocaine and you fail for cocaine or I fail for cocaine, it's going to be different. That's their argument. But in competition is like, I believe, well, I don't know about coke, but I think there is certain medications that you can take out of competition that you can't take in competition.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Do you know anyone that's like come up hot? Do they offer help? Or is it just like
for drugs?
Yeah, like.
So like, I don't really know anyone. I'm trying to think if there's been any recent examples. Now, I've said this before, like when I was getting high as an amateur, I remember just thinking like, damn, my life's fucked. Like, I just didn't think I was ever going to get off drugs because I had tried so many times to stop and I couldn't make it like 2 days. Like, So I was like, all right, well, what am I doing like with this fighting? Like, and I would look up like, well, maybe if I can get on subs, like I can fight. And then I would look up like, is there any fighters that are on Suboxone in the UFC? And like there was like 2 of them, Chris Lieben, and then another guy that ended up relapsing and dying. And so I don't know. I haven't heard of any recently guys that have failed for like drugs. those kind of drugs, recreational drugs.
Yeah. It's interesting, and it feels like every sport and every league is different. I don't know if you know or heard of any Darren Waller story.
No.
It's funny. He retired from the NFL, and now he just went back he's playing for the Dolphins now.
Wow.
But he overdosed when he was with the Ravens, and like the coach,
On opiates?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And he explains that the coach and the organization were like, hey, obviously the league's going to suspend you.
Yeah.
If you're in trouble. But also, like, let's get you some help, too.
Yeah, more importantly.
So that's what's interesting about, I don't know, John Jones, if you hear this, let us know what happened. But, like, hey, you tested positive for coke.
He did go to treatment.
He did?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Obviously, I don't know what his situation is. I won't speak about his situation, but I do remember there was an interview where he had recently got out of treatment, and he basically said, like, I'll never do cocaine ever again, but I'm not ready to give up alcohol. Like, that's where I'm at with it.
We find
and as we see, it gets worse.
Yeah. Talk about digging yourself in a deeper hole. I feel like a lot of times we see stuff get uncovered when players in the NFL are traded and they have to go through the physical. And it's like, who was that guy on the Eagles? John Dorenbos.
Okay.
He was traded to, I forget which team, but they went through his physical and found he had this like crazy heart issue that if they didn't treat right away, he was going to die.
Wow.
So in this weird way, being traded like saved his life.
Wow.
And so my hope.
What was the name of the heart? Do you remember the name of it?
I don't. My hope, I would love to see, if it's not already, these brain scans become a part of physicals, especially for high performing athletes.
Yeah.
Because, like you said, there's stuff in the brain, and just be able to help people. We literally have the ability to see where trauma, both physical and mental trauma, exists in your brain.
Yeah.
That's knowledge everyone should have.
For sure.
I think.
Yeah. And you may have already answered this question, but if you can expand on it, what do you think makes Caron, the Caron Foundation, different from others? And have you ever worked for any other treatment centers?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I have worked for another treatment center. I also have friends who work for other treatment centers and went to other treatment centers. And like we said earlier, every treatment center is a little bit different.
Yeah.
Everyone has different experiences. I think what makes Caron so different is the fact that, back to the insurance story, the reason they didn't take insurance because they wanted to do it their way, the way they knew worked. And even when they started taking insurance, they never got away from that. And family is a huge part of Caron's treatment process. So,
like family therapy.
Yeah, and family involvement.
Yeah.
So when you come in, you'll have the primary therapist, who's responsible for. They'll see the patient on most days, right? And they'll give the family, say it's your parents, they'll give your parents updates. Hey, Andre's doing well, and he's a little blocked by this, and the regular updates. But then you'll also have a family therapist who's calling and saying, yeah, Andre's doing great. How are you doing? And what are you doing to support yourself? We have family programs that are either 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Where it's just all the loved ones of the patients without the patient present.
Al-Anon, it's like similar to Al-Anon.
So that's one of many tools that we'll give to family members, but it's also clinical in a sense too, of like, hey, this Andre's addiction or Louis's addiction affected the whole family. And in my case too, it was a lot about boundary setting. Like, I worked with my dad when I went away to treatment.
Yeah.
And so a lot of the things we had to figure out was, can we have a father-son relationship apart from our CEO and employee relationship? Yeah. My siblings, I found out when I was in treatment that the reason my younger brother never drinks is because of me.
Yeah.
He's like, I didn't want to end up like you.
Wow, that's good.
Yeah.
that he didn't drink.
It's good that he
Yeah.
didn't drink, and it's great that I went through that process and he told me, because now we're like closer than
Yeah.
ever. So I think family being supported and having their voice heard is a big
Yeah.
deal.
When I went to treatment, so like I was arrested first.
Mhm.
So, and then I guess 2 days later, 3 days later, I went to Malvern.
Mm-hmm.
And then it had been like, I don't know, a week before. And then I was in detox. So then it had been like a week before they called my family. My dad, my mom is like, whatever. So my mom knew, but the rest of my family had no idea. So they were like looking for me. Like, yo, where is he?
Did they know you were getting high?
I had a yeah, I mean, some of them did, but I was doing an okay job, at least I thought, of keeping it under wraps.
Yeah.
But I had a conversation with my dad. The last conversation I had with him was a little like alarming. Wasn't like me, and he knew something was up.
Got it.
Yeah. So then they ended up like they were like looking for me. They couldn't find me. My phone was off, obviously. So eventually they showed up at my mom's house. Like, yo, where is he? What happened? Yeah.
Oh, wow. So were they, fast forward, were they supportive in your recovery?
Yeah. Yeah.
Were they
For sure.
part of it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like, I was like the first one in my family. I'll say the first junkie in my family, and at least I'll say the first one to get off drugs.
Got it.
And maybe like not in like my direct family, but like the extended family. There's been situations where people have reached out like, yo, what do we do? And like, I do feel like 100% I fucked up, but God also put me through this situation to help other people. Yeah. So like, not saying God made me an addict.
Yeah.
I'm not blaming God. I take the blame for that one. But what I'm saying is that maybe he certainly helped me get clean.
Yeah.
And I think that he did that so that I can point people in the right direction. And whether it's my extended family or anyone listening to this podcast, like I want to be at least able to be like, look, this is what worked for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I have extended family that are still getting high. Yeah.
Wow. That's, for I think every reason you just mentioned is why I'm so excited about Caron and you working together with Caron, because, anyone can only reach so many people, but being able to partner with someone who's in recovery themselves, who's an advocate and wants to help people, sometimes, like, you never know who's going to see this.
Yeah.
You never know who's going to see one of your post-fight interviews and it's like, damn, he could get help.
Yeah.
If he got help, I can. So, I mean, that's what's super exciting. Obviously, you're going to get some amazing health data and brain data from us going through the process, but what do you want to see come of, like, what do you want?
I certainly have friends and, like I said, extended family that are still getting high, or still drinking, still drugging, and like I'm not in the program anymore like that. I can't sponsor these people, but I still feel like I'm in a position where I can help them.
Yeah.
And whether it's helping them get into Caron, like we were talking about earlier, is like I want to help sponsor people that don't have the insurance or don't have the funds to get into treatment centers, and I want to help them get into that. And I feel like I'm in a position now where I finally can do that, and maybe that's my purpose. You know what I mean? That's my I can be the bridge. You know what I mean? Like that's my role.
I love that, man.
Yeah.
And I think, we need people in recovery. Just the world needs people like you that are willing to be bridges, particularly younger people, people who have a platform like you, because you know, like we were both young when we got sober.
Yeah.
We got sober in different ways, but either way, we both got sober. And it's always, I always appreciate when I see someone like you or Darren Wall or someone in the public eye speak on their story.
Yeah.
Because then more people reach out to me.
Yeah.
Like, hey, I saw something so-and-so said, like, I've been thinking about getting help. Can you help me? And it's so important.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
providing
So
access to
I've told
people.
this story before too, but like I said, like I would look up, you know, like, is there anyone in the UFC who wants to boxing, right? Like, I didn't know any like drug addicts or people that got sober and were professional fighters until I heard Jared Gordon's story on Ariel Helwani's. And he talked about, you know, how he was a junkie and how he got clean and how now he was clean and sober and he was fighting in the UFC. And I remember hearing that. And like, even though that at the time didn't get me clean, like at the time, it gave me a little bit of hope. Like, wow, if somebody else did it, it's doable. Like, at least somebody did it. Because, like, everyone I knew that was IV drug user was dying. And I was like, damn, this is my, you know, the progression of my disease went from, like, you know, I'm only going to get high on the weekends. We call it Dirty Friday. Like, I'm only going to get high on Friday, right? And then it was all weekend.
Yeah.
Right? And then after the weekend, and then after that, it was like, oh, I'll stop tomorrow. Then I went through the phase of like, oh, I'll stop tomorrow. Then it was like, all right, obviously I can't stop tomorrow. I've said that for the past 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 years. I'm not stopping tomorrow. But it's like, then it was like, well, I can manage this. Like, I can manage this life. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I got to wake up and I have to like put something in my body, but like, I can manage this. And then it's like, yo, you're dope sick in a holding cell and you're praying to God and begging the guard for toilet paper and you're praying to God for help. Like, you ain't managing shit, son. Like, you're fucking up.
Whew. Is there anyone, is there any guys that reach out to you now? Like, are you the Jared Gordon for anyone that you know of?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I mean,
that's awesome.
I don't know if I can call myself the Jared Gordon, but I will say a lot of people reach out and say like, oh, you know, your story helped me. Thanks for telling it, blah, blah. And once in a while, I'll get someone who's like, yo, like I'm still getting high. I need help. And like, that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to be in a position where it's like, okay.
Yeah.
You ever been to treatment? Let's try it. You never been to treatment before? Oh, you got to try this.
Yeah.
And now I have the best treatment center in the world right here.
Yeah, man. And a phone call away. And what's beautiful and why I've always loved Caron and working for Caron is if for some reason, whatever that reason may be, we're not the right fit for someone, we're going to help them get to the place that is.
Yeah.
You know, finances should never be a barrier. That's usually not it. But if someone's got something that we're not best fit to handle, we'll help them get to the right place.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome that people are reaching out to you. Hopefully a lot more people start reaching out to you. I was about to say something else.
Dude, you need the brain scan, bro.
I just got it. So I did one in 2019 when I was a patient, and then I did one 5 years later.
Yeah. So 2019, when you
clear.
had recently gotten sober.
Yeah, I was like 29 days sober.
Okay.
And then we just did it a couple months ago.
So 6 years in between? 5 years in between?
5 years in between.
Wow. And a lot of work, interpersonal work done.
A lot of work.
Yeah. In the meantime.
Yeah, I mean 3 months of the inpatient treatment,
and
then outpatient treatment. I still see a therapist. I'm still in 12-step programs. So you put all that together, and what my scans show now is I don't have that alpha deficiency anymore, and my brain's firing on all cylinders. And I made sure that my wife...
Take that, Aubrey Marcus.
Yeah. I made sure that my wife... So backtrack, I mentioned the girl who told me I needed to get help. That's now my wife.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Bro.
So she stuck with me.
Good for her.
Yeah, she's the real hero in all of this. But so when I did my scans 5 years later, she came down because I'm like, look, they're probably going to tell me I'm good, and I need you to see that because
you're not going to believe it.
You're not going to believe it. But she actually got her own scan done
Really?
too, which is awesome. And ours are like completely different scans. She's got ADD and whatever else, so her brain's like red where mine was blue. But she even found some stuff in different neurotherapies that can help her with just like her daily life.
Give me an example of a neurotherapy.
So neurofeedback is one, where it's this modality where you're basically using technology to our advantage.
Yeah.
And they can display different stuff on the screen, I don't know if triggers is the right word, but it's different using the different technologies.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So have you seen the Brandon Royval? Devin, have you seen the Brandon Royval video? He's in the locker room warming up for a fight, and he's wearing
I saw that.
Some type of neuro brain stimulating piece of equipment. We'll have to find it, but
it's really cool. So I actually saw that, and I looked it up right away. I'm like, what is this thing? I never heard of it.
Can you talk about it?
Not intelligently, but I did send it to our docs in Florida. I know that there was this one thing that we give to patients now, and that I did, called Alpha Stim. And you like clip these two things to your ears. It just looks like earbuds.
Yeah.
And I think it's something similar to the cap that Brandon was wearing, where it's stimulating, which can lead to, that may be good for him because I'm sure your mind's going a million miles a minute going into a fight.
Oh yeah.
This probably chills him out a little bit.
Yeah.
It's probably good for recovery as well. But I did see that, and we got to remember to talk about that to our team in Florida, because I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like he's like wearing a helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another thing that I'm interested in. So Pfeiffer had this sponsorship with this it was like an anti-EMF company, and it basically blocks the, am I saying it right? EMF, electromagnetic frequencies that come off of the cell phone.
Yeah.
You know, so one was like a card that would go in your wallet, and it basically like, and I was like, I don't know about this. It was a little like shady, but I would be curious to see like if it had any effect on the brain scan. One was a necklace. One was a literally, come on, bro. I got it right here.
There you go.
This is it. I don't know. I can't even plug the company. I forget what it was. Like Alvis or something like that.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but this is supposed to block the EMF emitted by the phone.
It's crazy. The technology we have today to like check on that stuff.
Yeah.
There's things that we're using. There's this other tool that's essentially an earpiece that they're giving to patients in detox that is, again, just electromagnetic waves.
Yeah.
And severely reduces cravings.
Yeah.
Significantly reduces cravings. They're using GLP-1s like Ozempic and the weight loss drugs as a medicated assisted treatment to block cravings. Like, there's so many other, I think we're only at the beginning of finally, I feel like we've known for a while as a culture and an industry, addiction is a brain disease, right?
Yeah.
But it took a while, whether it be for technology to catch up or for people to listen to the doctors who have been saying, yes, addiction's a brain disease and there's stuff we can do about it.
Yeah.
Which is why the assessment that you'll do and that others is so impactful, because it'll give you the playbook. Here's what you should do.
And so I was taught, you need to have this spiritual awakening.
Yeah.
Right? Which some would argue is like an opposing viewpoint to the technology based side of it. But so the spiritual awakening, the way it was explained to me, is just a change in perspective. That's what it is. So for me, it could be as simple as, I thought getting high was fun. I thought it was good. Now it's the biggest evil. I cannot, you know what I mean? It could be as simple as that. It doesn't have to be this huge change. But the one thing I will say that helped me tremendously was the Vivitrol shot. So the Vivitrol shot I got for the first, I think 7 or 8 months that I was clean. And what the Vivitrol shot does is it's an opiate blocker. So it lasts a month, where it doesn't get you high or anything, but for those, you get that shot, and for 30 days, if you would to do an opiate, you wouldn't feel the effects of it.
Yeah.
It's completely blocks it. And it was almost like an insurance policy.
Yeah.
That like, if anything crazy happened and I like thought I was going to slip up, like I couldn't.
Yeah.
At least with opiates, and I believe it works with alcohol too,
Yeah.
but yeah. So, that was like that. And my thought process in it was like, and I always like suggested it to other people. And I was always like, if you're done, like you say you're done, like, I'm done with this. Like, all right, you're done. Why wouldn't you get that shot? That was always my thought process towards it. So I've always been like a huge advocate. I have a friend that I was really close with. And he had like, I want to say like a year and a half. Like he had some time, and he would get the Vivitrol shot every month, and he stopped getting it one time. And, you know, I'm assuming he stopped getting it because he wanted to get high, but I talked to him like 3 years later, and he was like, dude, I've been to 26 rehabs in the past 2 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And I was just like, well, have you ever had the thought of going back on Vivitrol? Like,
yeah. And
this might be a crazy concept, but
I think we gotta. I'm with you. I had the same thought when I was finishing up treatment. They wanted me to go on this device that was essentially a breathalyzer with facial recognition that my therapist controlled it, and it told me how many times I had to blow. And I knew I wanted to stop.
Yeah.
So I was like, yeah, sign
I'll
me
do
up.
whatever it takes. If you're desperate,
You do whatever it takes.
do whatever it takes.
And my personal opinion, and what I always tell people who are looking for help too, is it's never just one thing.
Yeah.
Say, like the spiritual awakening, it's not just the assessment, it's not just the treatment, it's not just 12-step, it's not just the shot, it's whatever it takes for you.
Yeah.
And if you are someone who went back out or continues to go back out and relapse, then
time to try different things.
Yeah. Or add more on.
If nothing changes, nothing changes.
Boom.
Yeah. Yeah. It was crazy with that Vivitrol shot too. So I was blessed that after that day that I overdosed, I never had the obsession to use ever again. That I can honestly say God removed that completely from my brain. But this is what I will say. So that Vivitrol shot would last, I don't know, 25 to 28 days. And I would get it every month, every 32 days. And I would have drug dreams in those 3 or 4 days between getting the shots. Where when I was sleeping, I would have a dream. I would have dreams that like I was on my way to get high or something. Yeah. Like that's how powerful like the mind is. It's like once I got that shot, I felt like the fact that I couldn't, and that was like, it was like I didn't think about it anymore.
Yeah.
But the fact that like if something happened, you could get, that was like a big deal.
Aren't drug dreams crazy?
Crazy.
Do you still get them sometimes? Nah. I get drinking
maybe
dreams.
I've maybe gotten 1 or 2 in the past like 3 years.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so far removed.
Yeah.
Thank God.
I feel like, kind of like you're saying too, like when you were off the shot, it's whenever, like if I go to an Eagles game and I'm at the tailgate or something like that, and I'll have a dream I'm drinking again or something. It depends on the surroundings. But, I would have them. I mean, when I was first in treatment, it was like every night I'd wake up sweating thinking I relapsed already. Yeah.
My dream was always, I went and copped and I had it in my pocket and I'm like, oh, I just got to get home to use. But I never made it home. Like there was always like something distracted me and it just never it would just like wouldn't happen. And the dream would just go on and on. Like, all right, the bus is late or whatever. Like, I felt like the whole dream was me just like waiting to get high, and I never got high. I don't know have you ever drank in the dream? Like got to the point where you finally drank?
That's interesting that you say that. I don't think I've ever like in the dream drank.
Yeah.
But I think I've been drunk.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, I don't know, man. It's weird. It freaks me out every time though, and I panic.
Yeah.
Still to this day. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't happen nearly.
I would call my sponsor and be like, "Yo, what's the deal with this?" He's like, "Nah, that's a freebie."
It's a freebie. Yeah, I would call it'd be like, "Yeah, you should probably hit a couple more meetings."
Yeah,
Dude,
yeah.
I'm just trying to talk to you about my dreams.
Right. We get it.
Yeah.
I need to pray.
Yeah.
All right, brother. I appreciate you coming on for real. I think it was very eye-opening, and I hope we can help at least one person listening.
Hey, if we help one person, that's one more.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be awesome when we do this trip to Florida and get all that. We'll film every second of it.
So we're going to be traveling together.
We are, which could be dangerous.
You don't snore, do you?
I definitely snore.
You snore?
We don't have to sleep together.
We got to get him a sleep apnea machine.
Yeah, I need
the sleep. We should have got a plug for that. The Breathe Right strips. Breathe Right. Yo, sponsor my boy.
Yeah, right? My wife would appreciate you.
Did you see the magnet ones?
I just got it.
Wow. Sean Brady, shop. I see he posts. He gets a lot of sponsors, but he posts that the magnet one. You're going to have to bring it.
I'll bring it. I'm try it out on the flight.
Can I try your nose plug, bro?
Dude, try it on the flight.
I'm excited.
Yeah, we'll film all of it. We'll help a lot of people along the way and reach out. We're both here to help. Yeah,
anybody's struggling, needing help, we'll do the best we can.
Yeah, find us on Instagram, or find a way to call us. We got you.
Cool, brother.
Thanks, man.
Thank you.
When I arrived at treatment, they asked me 2 specific questions. One is, how much are you drinking? And that answer was easy. Then they asked, why are you drinking? I had no idea.
The primary symptom of this disease is compulsivity, and we're looking at a target organ that's involved in that. And with this disease, it really is the brain. Whether it's substance use disorder or mental health illness, it is the brain.
I had my first drink going into my freshman year of high school. After my first drink, it was off to the races. When I left college, I didn't leave the party. I had some money in my pocket, I had a good job, I had an apartment, but I just kept on drinking. And every night I'd tell myself, this is it, this is the last shot, this is the last drink. But it never was. I get so sick that I just had to keep going. So it was probably 3 years post-college before I entered treatment.
So the purpose of the assessment is to see where your brain's electrical activity is.
I had my brain scan 25 days in to treatment, which provided me with all the data I needed to realize what I needed to work on. Just recently, 5.5 years later, I did it again.
When we look at your data here, anything that is white or green is considered healthy or normal. In your presentation, we have darker colors. You see that? More of the blues and the teals, right? That refers to diminished or underactivity, okay?
We're looking at which part of the brain is lighting up on the QEEG, on the brain mapping. What showed up on the FDG PET, what showed up metabolically in the lab work, tying all of that together, background history, substance use history, medical history, and the goal would be, if we use all of these areas of treatment, specialty areas, that the patient can increase their insight. And if they can increase their insight, then the goal would be, okay, I understand myself better. I understand the why better.
Do we do all the other behavioral modification and treatment? Yes. The cognitive behavioral therapy and the dialectical behavior therapy, yes, we do all of that. But we go a step much higher.
I went through the neurorestorative care process, and I had the brain map and my psychological assessments, and I sat with the team, and they showed me on paper, hey, see all this blue? That's a decrease in alpha in your brain. That correlates with anxiety and depression. You also reported that you were bullied as a child and your parents were divorced. We think those two go together. And then I started to realize why I was drinking. The alcohol was allowing me to continue to hide all of those things that I didn't want to discuss. So that was a big turning point.
It's that level of validation again that the people just go, wow, this is a real thing. It's, you know, part of my physical being. My brain, my nervous system is compromised. It sucks to see that, right? But I can do something about it. I can change this. We have the capacity to take a deeper dive into the brain. And so we're looking at the exact same before and after. So the addiction reward network in 2025 is normal, it's healthy, right? We have good level of activity and regulation across these structures, where before we've seen that strong level of underactivity.
Each specialty kind of has its aha moment. And it, again, individualized, right? So it depends on the patient. And when you have that comprehensive team all in one room and we're reviewing the results together, there's so many different areas for aha moments that are in-depth, comprehensive assessments all in one spot.
All the results point to a healthy, active brain. And it all makes sense. There's still times I get anxious. There's still times depression hits me a little bit, but it doesn't wreck me. It doesn't drive me to drink anymore.